China fear mongering. But I want to play this clip just so you guys can see how absurd the narrative around China is. How we just directly disrespect their sovereignty and expect them to just take it. So watch this. I think it speaks for itself.
Got this new video in showing the moment.
Look at the headline. Holy shit. The China Menace. Now you guys see why I say the United States is the most propagandized country in the world? The China Menace. How dare they forgive debts in Africa and help developing countries build? How dare they lift hundreds of millions of people out of poverty? How dare they innovate public safety with high-speed rails, high-speed trains, making super malls, super residences that the world has never seen before, completely changing the way countries view a central planning model of the government. For example, China nationalized the banks, which allow them to control the cost of housing. So unlike the United States, millennials do not have a struggle affording housing in China. I still rent. The concept of me owning a home, I have long since abandoned. The thing they consider the American dream? Long since abandoned that bullshit. They're not a problem in China. In Cuba, they have a higher literacy rate than us, despite the fact they lost hundreds of billions of dollars because of the Cuban blockades. You got a healthcare system that put us to shame, an education system that put us to shame. At some point, you guys got to admit the central planning model is better in other countries. So in order to cope with this fact that an alternative central planning model, some people call it market socialism. Some people criticize it for not completely ridding itself of market influences. But it's a different central model than the West that focus on building, that focus on peace. Correct? So the capitalists cannot have an alternative model exist. So they had to smear it. They had to create the narrative that leads to the anti-Asian hate and anti-China sentiment that fake liberals complain about. This headline is disgusting. The China Menace. Do you guys think China's your enemy? What's China doing to you? The United States rendered my family into thousands and thousands of dollars into medical debt. That's not Xi Jinping. That's something that Joe Biden instrumented. Xi Jinping and China did not implement a police state that is occupying my community's neighborhoods. That is China. What did China do to you guys? You brainwashed fucks to call them menaces. Listen to this unhinged garbage. Zoya, feel free to chime in if you want to, but let's get into this video.
Chinese fighter jet buzzes a U.S. spy plane. It happened yesterday over the South China Sea. The U.S. calling the maneuver unnecessarily aggressive.
Over the what sea, Zoya? What? You guys hear that? Let me hear where this happened at.
Chinese fighter jet buzzes a U.S. spy plane. It happened yesterday over the South China Sea.
The what sea?
China's out of hand, invading its own airspace.
So you can see the direct disrespect of their sovereignty. And Americans just eat it up. Right-wingers eat this shit up. Yeah, let's hear it again. The audacity of China protecting the South China Sea.
A U.S. spy plane. It happened yesterday over the South China Sea. The U.S. calling the maneuver unnecessarily aggressive. General Jack Keane is a Fox News senior strategic analyst. When you see something like this, what goes through your mind, sir?
Potential mishap, certainly. I mean, this is outrageous behavior, bringing two aircrafts together.
Outrageous.
Obviously, this fighter is a very high-performance aircraft, and our reconnaissance plane is likely flying a very predictable route. And it's clear.
Your what plane? Your reconnaissance plane? In the South China. So you guys melted down over a fucking balloon, a Chinese spy balloon that we never got pictures of, never got confirmation of what it actually was, by the way. We were supposed to be afraid of a fucking balloon, but you got reconnaissance jets flying in the South China Sea. And you're freaking out over China's very passive response compared to what the United States did to the balloon. We shot that motherfucker down. Are you serious? Listen to this.
likely flying a very predictable route. And it's clear harassment is what they're doing. And the United States military is kind of on the front lines of this, not too surprising, given the aggression that China has. They resent the fact, Dana, that we're spying and collecting surveillance information on them every single day. This is a very obvious means that we do it. We use all sources to do this.
So he doesn't deny it, fam. He said the Chinese are concerned that we have spy jets in the South China Sea spying on them. How dare they be concerned of us spying on them in their own territory? Do you guys see how unhinged neocon right-wing ideology is? Do you guys see how unhinged anti-China ideology is? So Joe Biden and the Uniparty melted down over a quote-unquote Chinese spy balloon that we never confirmed. Meanwhile, the United States has spy plane. He just admits it. And China doesn't shoot it down. They just fly close to it. They fly close. They're like, hey, what the fuck is that over there? And then they think, oh my God, China's been so aggressive. Are you serious? The gaslighting is incredible. Incredible. This is the party that some morons are pretending that it's anti-war. That is somehow a more anti-war. The people that are indulging in the lesser of two evils. Which, remember, me and Zoya find that a ridiculous ideology. But people engage in the lesser of two evils and say the Republican Party is somehow less hawkish. Do you see this garbage? Back to back about Russia, about China. Don't ask a Trump supporter about Trump attempts to invade Venezuela. John Bolton in the State Department, Mike Pompeo, talked Donald Trump out of invading Venezuela. But these are the people, like Tucker Carlson does a Twitter video where he pretends that Donald Trump and the right wing is the anti-war camp. I am so tired of this clown shit.
This is a country of Karens. Like, what a Karen thing to fucking say. You know, how dare they not let us surveil them? How dare they not let us impugn on their territory? The audacity of the China Menace. China's, by the way, right now, the leader on green technology and combating climate change, not America. Yeah. While the American and military industrial complex produces more pollution than 171 countries combined. China is fighting desertification by planting trees. How evil.
So China had a historic reduction of pollution and carbon emission from 2010 from 2022, 70% plus reduction. Something that humanity had never seen before. You guys haven't heard it in the West, haven't you? Literally what China did is historic. They still have challenges. They still can improve. But the improvement from 2010, remember when there was footage of people in China had to walk around with masks on because it was so thick and polluted over there, and that kind of became a culture over there. They went from that to now reducing their pollution by around 50 to 70%. I gotta find an article. I covered this months ago, so I gotta be careful with the numbers I use actually. So I covered it, but the production reduction has been incredible because their central planning model values what's best for the society instead of just profit.